5.
Okay.
She said 5. You said 5.
We do have 16 people.
The program says 6. But Shoshana says 5.
My notes say 4, so I'm actually compromising.
We've already wasted a minute.
Grief heals. Grief grips. Grief trips. Grief grates and grinds and scrapes and blinds. Grief burns and slowly learns to heat itself to ash. Grief bleeds and wears the skin and wields the lash and wears you thin. Until the flesh is worn and peace is freshly born, and bleached bone then lies resting, hollowed, beached, cool and white, and far beyond the light. That's the poem that I mentioned to some of you earlier that was on display at the Grand Manan Art Gallery for 3 weeks this summer, thanks to a painting show by my partner, Sandor Mathé, which was spectacular. My next poem is called Postcard, with apologies to Elizabeth Bowen. I think I wish you were here. Not that you aren't perfectly happy where you are. Such a lemon-lovely spot you have, the stately grey stone house by the listening sea. And not that I'm not perfectly happy alone, in the spring breeze and sunshine of a whole other continent, shell-pink fruit blossoms occasionally drifting down. But as someone once said, the joy of solitude is sometimes so piercing that one longs to have someone to share it with. So among the thoughts that tumble about in my mind is this: wouldn't it be fine having you here in this sidewalk cafe to say, look, up at the alabaster peak of that mountain, or over at those 2 old lovers walking, or down at these weathered cobblestones, and isn't it lovely being here, alone? Thanks. And I also have a short-ish memoir. Thank you. Memoir is hopefully appreciable for its local content. Over your limit, lady. Way over. On the way back from a trip to Boston in 2016, I stopped, as always, at the New Hampshire Liquor and Wine Outlet. And as always, I was like a 5-year-old in a candy shop. The real estate is vast, an acreage of gem-like colors and diverse bottle shapes. In addition to some fine wines, I picked up grappa, pisco, and cachaça. Not only can I not get these items in my island liquor store, but in the case of pisco, the staff person I waylaid had to canvass the rest of the staff for help. In addition to enjoying sweet cocktails in the summer, I have a deep-seated fondness for outfoxing the experts. Keeping those neurons firing is just one of the services I provide. I stayed overnight with a friend on the coast of Maine, where I offloaded a very nice Spanish red, La Paca Garnacha, a specialty of Trader Joe's, another mecca for cheap booze. The next day I was on the road early, but maybe I got a bit ambitious. I anticipated catching the 1:30 ferry instead of the 5:30. When I got to customs in Calais, I had about 45 minutes to get to the boat, assuming that I bypassed the parking lot and drove onto the ferry at high speed, and allowing a generous buffer of about 0 minutes to get through customs first. I drove up to the booth and was asked if I was bringing goods into the country that I'd acquired in the States. I gestured to the cartons in the back seat and handed the agent my receipts, namely liquor. He looked them over with a crease starting in his brow. I'm not too concerned about your goods, ma'am, but I'm concerned about the amount of alcohol you're bringing in. Right. I waited for more. It's over your limit. Way over. Okay, I imagine it would be, so... I mean, that's a lot of alcohol. Wasn't I in kindergarten getting my hands slapped for taking too many candies? Look, I have a ferry to catch. Can you just tell me what I should do? There'll be another ferry, ma'am. Okay, so is there a duty I can pay? My patience was starting to wane. Now you can pay, but it's going to be a lot of money. In Boston, I had spent 2 days hanging out with Lisa, one of my best friends. One of the things I truly love about Lisa is the richness of her speech, which was still vivid in my mind. So while in one ear I could hear my mother saying, "You don't want to alienate the customs guy," in the other ear I could hear Lisa whispering, "Say fuck, say fuck." I didn't say fuck, but I actually heard myself enunciate sweetly and clearly, "Well, do you want me to toss the bottles out the window and smash them on the pavement?" I can't remember what the reply was to this biting repartee, but I was ushered into the building, something that hadn't happened to me since I was much younger, and always with an older person in my family sort of doing the talking. and indoors the procedure was refreshingly straightforward. I went to a counter, was given a bill, sent to the cashier, I paid the duty of about $31. Whether this quite canceled out the deals I'd gotten on the cheapest liquor I know, I'm not sure, but I imagine it was pretty close either way. Of course, if you can't get the stuff at any price, what does it matter? The real question, of course, was it worth waiting 4 hours for the next ferry to get a good story? Only you can say.